The mystery of the giant of Kandahar, Afghanistan, allegedly caught, and the U.S. Special Forces in Afghanistan. The Kandahar giant was a massive humanoid creature standing 3 to 4 meters tall. American soldiers allegedly ran into him and did away with him in Afghanistan. There's something about the human mind that loves strange and mysterious legends, especially those that involve monsters, giants, and other things that go bump in the night. Throughout history, there have been many tales told of strange and scary creatures lurking in isolated places around the world. But what if this was all true? There are countless stories of monsters from mythology, fairy tales, local folklore, from nearly every culture on Earth. In almost every case, these beings are exaggerated versions of humans, larger than life with unnatural abilities or attributes about them that set them apart from typical men or women. Or so we think. What if these myths were not just stories, but real accounts of actual encounters with strange beings? There have been numerous reports over the years of giant humans roaming remote regions of the world. Some even claim to have seen one with their own eyes. The 1980s was a period when the world was gripped by fear of nuclear war. The outbreak of the Iran-Iraq War and the Soviet occupation of Afghanistan all added to the sense that Armageddon could be just around the corner. All this at this time, there was a strange giant who was said to have lived in a remote region of Kandahar. Those that told the story on the popular American paranormal radio station Coast to Coast in 2002, for over 30 years, investigating ancient civilizations, giants, UFOs, and biological warfare, and they're saying that the U.S. government classified the entire incident, keeping it hidden from the public for a long time. So it all started when a detachment of American soldiers did not return from a mission one day during the U.S. military occupation of Afghanistan. They attempted to contact them via radio, but no one responded. In response, the Special Operations Task Force was sent to the desert with the task of finding and recovering the missing unit. It was assumed that the detachment could fall into a siege and the soldiers were done away with or captured by the enemy. Arriving in the area where the missing detachment had left, the soldiers began to inspect the area and soon came across the entrance to a large cave. Some things were lying at the entrance to the cave, which upon closer inspection turned out to be the weapons and equipment of the missing detachment. The group was cautiously looking around the entrance to the cave when suddenly a gigantic person jumped out, taller than two ordinary people stacked on top of each other. It was definitely a man with a tousled, shaggy red beard and red hair. He screamed in rage and rushed at the soldiers with his fists. The same retreated and began to shoot at the giant with their 50 BMG Barrett rifles. Even with such massive firepower, it took the entire squad a full 30 seconds of continuous shelling of the giant to finally knock him to the ground. After the giant was killed, the SWAT team searched the inside of the cave and found the bodies of the men from the missing squad gnawed to the bone as well as older human bones. The soldiers came to the conclusion that this man-eating giant had been living in this cave for a long time, devouring people passing by. As for the giant's body, it weighed at least 500 kilograms and was then airlifted to the local military base and then sent to a larger aircraft, and no one else saw or heard of him again. When the SWAT soldiers returned to the States, they were forced to sign non-disclosure agreements, and the entire incident was listed as classified. Skeptics have dismissed the story as fabricated and a mere hoax. In response, many people ask what kind of self-interest do they have in this particular story if they lied, while others have suggested it's possible that these were mass hallucinations as a result of exposure to harmful radiation affecting the minds of soldiers or their conscience. And this is on Collective Spark by Inhale Ancient Mysteries. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.